The authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment. Can I possibly? What's going on? We have 100 people in this country, other countries, being targeted with a 24/7 campaign of harassment, and this may be because they have been complaining too much to a local council. It may be because they have been denouncing some unethical practice at work. It may be because they have been denouncing some unethical practice at work. But we believe it's actually it's not just a sum of a number of isolated cases. Yeah. We believe is an exercise in controlling the population and scaling the population. So people.
For God's sake, don't like to Jeremy Corbyn. He's mad.
Sorry.
Jeremy Corbyn is insane.
All right.
Yeah, but you're not going to get rid of it. You will not get rid of all that there, what you've written down there.
Well,
they get too much money. They control the monetary system on the planet.
I don't think. Well, you know, I don't think it's going to stop in my lifetime. But I mean, you know, I try to spread awareness. I mean, it's the only thing I can do. I mean, I'm in Westminster.
Well, they're actually going to chip you, son. You're going to have a chip inside. Yeah, they know what you're doing.
I already microchip.
Oh, have you? Where?
Well, there is a lot of circumstantial evidence. I may have one over there. One at his.
What you do is you get a knife and you put some local anesthetic and chuck it in the bed.
Well, I wish it were so easy, but you know. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities. Is 100 people in this country being targeted in this country, other countries being targeted with a 24/7 campaign of harassment. It may be because they've been complaining too much to a local council. It may be because they have been denouncing some unethical practice at work. But it's not just a sum of different cases in isolation. We believe that actually is part of a system of being developed to control the population, together with the surveillance, which is all more extensive and more intrusive than people think. Now they're going to try to go for a cashless society.
And also, I think, anytime you apply for a new passport or birth certificate, they'll take your eye color, everything, your DNA, everything.
Yeah.
So anywhere you go in the world, they will know. You're in Singapore, they know you're in Singapore.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's new world order. Whoever ordered it, whoever planned it. Facial recognition software is that they're rolling it out. It doesn't seem to be working very well anyway. But the thing is, I would like to tell you something which I very quickly some time ago, because it gives perspective, context to what is happening to us. In the mid-80s, in former Germany, the former Saudi Secret Service, because there was a different political climate in Europe, they did not feel any longer able to just imprison dissidents. Like you say something about the Communist Party,
they immediately put you in prison. They said, because there was a different political climate in Europe, they needing a lot of goodwill from Western countries. They no longer felt able to just imprison. So what they did instead, because at the same time they very much felt that they wanted to keep control of the population, so instead of imprisoning dissidents, what they started doing, they started launches a program called Zersetzung, which means Zersetzung is a German word which means undermining. It is published on Wikipedia, stuff from the Conspiracy Weekly, you can find it on Wikipedia, because people now know about this stuff. So what they started to do, instead of imprisoning dissidents, they started harassing them to death, like, harassing them at work, making them lose their job, dragging them through the tribunal on the basis of some stupid pretext, beating them up in the street. People go home and find that the door of the flat has been broken down, taking away stuff, compromising stuff behind, trashing your house or your flat. And a lot of these people, dissidents, they end up getting crazy, becoming crazy, or they end up like taking their own lives. So, to give context, you say, well, what you're talking about harassing people. If you think of what happened in Germany in the mid to late 80s, you can see in context what a system may do to extend and maintain control of the population. So it's, there is a lot of precedent. There was the FBI content program in the, say, 70s, early 80s. They wiped out all the movement in the US. They started with the Black Panther Party. They wiped out the student movement. They wiped out the ecological movement. About they were doing infiltrating groups, creating like conflict between different groups of different people. In the Black Panther Party they had a lot of guns, so when they created conflict, people ended up shooting each other. So I mean, by the late 80s, there was nothing left. We got Ronald Reagan as president. So when I say and Thatcher, yeah. So when I say like with us, I'm not saying that with us is at the moment it's like they were doing in East Germany in the 80s. It's more like they're not rolling out this program in anger on a lot of people, right? It's more like they're experimenting with it. They started to experiment. Yeah, but it's not like that. I'm not saying it's like that. I'm not saying it's like that at the moment in this country or other European country, United States, because it's happening in other European countries, the United States. I'm not saying it's like the stars in the 80s. It's the same thing.
Anyway,
did I give you one?
Yeah, I'll have a look. What you're against this interference of individual civil liberties and your
it's actual harassment. It's actual harassment. They use drug dealers. They use the police to harass us. They use but there is quite in the past we had a quite large meeting at the Friend Meeting House in Houston with up to 25 people. We had protests in front of the House of Parliament with up to 15 people on one occasion, and then we managed to keep it up for a number of weeks. Also every week 5-6 people on Wednesday doing Prime Minister question time at 12 o'clock, and then we have a big one in front of the BBC Broadcasting House on the 25th of February last year. So it was up to 25 people, but at the moment, people have been drifting away. I mean, I have tried to organize different things, and then people stop coming, and then I do things on my own. Because I am a victim myself, that they completely ruined my life. So it's the only thing. Yeah, I'm a victim of the stuff. They started on me even when I was still living in Italy, which was a long time ago. I've been in this country for 30 years now. But they started when I was at university in Italy. Possibly because I was very radicalized politically or something, and then they never stop everything. It's they completely destroy my life, they completely ruin my life. So I'm more. Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment is under the people in this country.
Where are you from, sir?
Sorry?
What country are you from?
I'm from Italy, but I've been living in this country.
Italiano?
I've been living in this country for 30 years now, so I am from London, really.
What country are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Italy, but I've been living in London.
Big mafia.
You want one? Alright. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities. Can I go see? Oh, that speaker corner has been going on for 100 years.
I saw this on YouTube, but
Yeah.
I was just very curious.
Are you from London?
I just moved here recently,
Okay.
so I'm starting to familiarize
Yeah.
myself with
Yeah, the speaker corner has been going on for 300 years, I don't know, quite a long time. But see, the stuff I'm complaining about is there is other people in this country, being innocent people, and other countries, it's not just happening in this country, being targeted with a 24/7 campaign of harassment. And it may be because people complain too much to the local council, it may be because people have been denounced in some unethical practice at work, and then, you know, once they start on you, they never stop. They're completely destroying the life of innocent people. But, you know, it's part of the, it doesn't happen in isolation, it's part of an effort by the system, you may say, to completely control the population. It may be, you know.
you saying that about the one world order, you're talking about the end of it all.
Yeah, loosely speaking, yes. Loosely speaking, yes. But anyway.
What made you come to this conclusion?
Eh?
What made you come to this conclusion? Society.
You know, to me it's quite obvious. But I think you can describe it in many ways. But basically, we are an international banking cartel, which is in the last 300 years it has been, they've been extending the control of every aspect of Western society. It's been growing quite exponentially. I mean, it was already pretty strong to control around at the end of World War II, 1945. But since
this happened around the time where the Palestine and Israel conflict began, 1948.
no, this has been going on for a very long time. It has been going on. To be honest with you, it has been going on. Wikipedia, they can find all the trail of all the efforts they made to increase their power, to increase their control of a crucial institution in society.
Do you think there is one sole person responsible for black Jews?
No, it cannot be. We think the Rothschild family has an enormous amount of power. It can't be just one person, obviously. It has to be a group of people. Well, you may call it the international banking cartel, or the Zionist banking cartel, but there's a lot of people involved, and there is all these people in the, they are involved a large number of people, because there's also a lot of people who may not be part of the system, but then again they have a vested interest, or at least they think they have a vested interest in perpetuating the system. So anyway, some of the wealth is trickling down to, it's not the trickle down effect which comes down to ordinary people, it's more like a trickle down effect which go down to people involved in banking, people which have some a degree of wealth. So in a way, you need to have quite a large number of people which get either they have a vested interest or they think they have a vested interest in perpetuating this kind of system of exploitation and control. So
the exploitation comes from the media, you would say, the narrative.
It's kind of from under different, you know, you have the media, which is at the moment just an instrument of lies and propaganda. Then we have the also they do actual job on if you're a politician or if you are a public figure or something. It's not just that they constantly produce lies and propaganda, but they do actual job on you. Like Daily Mail, if you're a politician rocking the boat or causing problems, they immediately, like for Jeremy Corbyn for instance, then you get, you know, rags like the Daily Mail or the Daily Telegraph, completely every day coming out with story about you, and so you have the media, you have now trying to introduce a cashless society. So it means that they one day, if they want to, you know, if you're causing problems, they can pull the plug on your debit credit card. Then they may say, "Oh, sorry, oops, it was a mistake." But meantime, they've been screwing you up. Then, you know, they try to silence all alternative media, like demonetizing literally thousands of YouTube accounts. You know, there were people like they were trying to make a meager living out of, you know, producing alternative information and maybe letting people know about certain things happening. They were monetized, and now they've been talking literally, you know, maybe even under 1,000 of accounts, YouTube accounts, being completely demonetized, so they don't get a single penny anymore for, you know, they become completely destitute. And that also is sending a chilling message. That is also sending a chilling message in, you know, to anyone who tries to do any kind of produce any kind of alternative information. And then we have Facebook. You get people, you know, one day going to look for their account. The account is no longer there. So it is, you know, the people, you know, if they have put any value on their account, they become, they start self-censoring because they don't want either their YouTube account or their Facebook account to get deleted. So these are the chilling effects of all kind of free speech. So and amongst what all the so it's just a system whereby they try to control the population, and what they're doing to us is quite important, because you may say. In the free speech agenda.
So according to Gordon Robinson, he had a, I know you probably don't agree with his views, but he had his own ceremony where he discussed freedom of speech and his attachment to freedom.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Oh yeah, it's under attack. Freedom of speech. I mean, you know, it's you know, they closing accounts, they demonetizing accounts. And then for every account they close or demonetize, they obviously send a chilling message to everyone else. I mean, because you know, because it can happen to you tomorrow. Because you know, if when they close Facebook accounts, for instance, you know, they don't give you any warning. They just one day you go looking for your account, and your account is not there. And most of the time you don't have any redress whatsoever. Nothing you can do. No, who you do?
You put the bank and they say, they say, well, we can't do anything about it. That's their response.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, if I were to do it to me, I would go outside Facebook in London with a placard. But most people don't know. But I hope they're not going to do it to me. But you don't even know. But also they have all this algorithm whereby, if you know, every time you use some keyword or stuff, if you make a post, it's become almost invisible because it goes down you know, the picking order on so you know, or likewise you because they you know, they have all this algorithm now. The algorithm can detect if you like if anything in your video or your post is hitting on any controversial subject.
They block people out. When people are controversial, it doesn't fit the narrative.
They can close your account, but even before they close your account, they can make sure that your post or your video become almost invisible. People can see them. They don't come up anywhere. So you're posting something you think is important, is interesting. A lot of people may respond, and then you see like no one is paying attention, but then you need to realize, can people see that? Or no, because they're saying openly. Facebook or there was one of these people. I say like, oh, we want to keep the shitty people out, with the algorithms. So they say, yeah. So I mean, there's so many ways of So when people think like this unconditional like freedom of speech online, even years ago, I was talking to people and say, oh, they were saying like, oh, now we have the internet, they will never be able to suppress freedom of speech because we have the internet. I would say, okay, you may be right, but I know by my experience that there is a way and means of doing it. So
they can follow algorithms.
Yeah. So, but so I believe that there is this international banking cartel with all the different manifestation, which is controls the media, controls the political establishment, and I think that's actually what they're doing to us in terms of little campaign. It's very important. It has a very important role in their system of control. But the best way to clarify the concept is very quickly to have a look at what was happening in the past in former East Germany. In the mid-80s, due to the changed political climate in Europe, the former East Germany needing all the goodwill from the West. Yeah. So due to the changed political climate in Europe, they no longer. Yeah. Let me see, we're going to that. Sorry, because it's quite important that due to the changed political climate in Europe and needing all the goodwill from the Western country and blah, 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 they no longer felt able to just imprison dissidents because of the negative publicity, right? But at the same time, there was a lot of changing there was Glasnost, the Gorbachev. Actually, East Germany was one of the last Western European countries to give up communism. Even after even after the all Soviet Union has been dismantled, there was still Erich Honecker, which was the leader in Germany, still holding on to communism. They were the last one to give up communism. So, in a way, even if they could no longer imprison dissidents, they very much wanted to control the population. So what they started doing instead of imprisoning dissidents, they started harassing dissidents to death. So we're starting like people were being mobbed at work, then after a while they were losing their job, or they were beaten up in the street, they go home, they find the door of their flat broken down, stuff being taken away, compromising stuff left behind, your flat or your house being trashed, all this kind of stuff, being dragged through the judicial system for false reason, make-up reason, so people had to spend all time and energy to go through the judicial system for false accusation and stuff. A lot of these dissidents, and they ended up either losing their reason or ended up committing suicide, taking their own life. So this show, because if I tell you what they are harassing people, it was a system of control, a system they were using to keep their control of the general population in East Germany. So this stuff, I want to point out that this stuff, the desertion program, it's not something you may find on the Conspiracy Weekly. You can find this stuff on Wikipedia, okay? Because with all the information, with the fall of the Berlin Wall, there was all this information coming out.
So a lot of this stuff that were happening to all Soviet Union and Germany now is stuff we can find on Wikipedia. If you go looking for Zersetzung, which is the German word, which Zersetzung program, which
Wikipedia isn't always factual.
No, but in this case, that it just shows that it's not a story being made up by people in the conspiracy theory environment. It shows that this is a lesson program did actually happen. And then actually, interestingly enough, that to show everything is connected, a guy, the last director of Stasi, before the fall of the Berlin Wall, a guy called Markus Wolf, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, he relocated to the United States, where he became an asset of US intelligence. And then after 9/11, he was one of the, when they created they passed the Patriot Act, and then they created the Department of Homeland Security. He was one of the architects, Markus Wolf, former Stasi director, possibly the guy who presided, Markus Wolf. Yeah, possibly the guy, which, allegedly, on the face of all the evidence, he was also the guy who presided over this Zersetzung program of harassment. After 9/11, he became one of the architects of the creation. You believe the main architect, the main theorist, the main ideologue, the main of the creation of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So also to show, how everything is connected. But, because if I tell you, they are harassing us to have a system of social control, you will think, that's going to be far-fetched. But if I show to you what's happening, for instance, in East Germany in the late 80s, then you can start to see the picture. You see, if I tell you they're harassing us because as developing or testing out a system of social control, you may think that sounds crazy to me. But if I start to tell you what happened in East Germany with the Zersetzung program, it started our precedence, then you may start to see, I start to see the connection with harassing people and maintaining a system of social control. Any questions?
The question is, in Germany, in the 80s, did they use a different strategy compared to the World War? The World War, they used a completely different strategy where Germany for the enemies, they make out counter, give us the reason, what was the narrative? The narrative they did in the 1980s. Did you think they used this strategy?
No, there is not. There was the demonization of Germany during the two World Wars. Basically, Stasi is quite it's fairly, as much as everything is connected, it's fairly unrelated. I mean, it's just an example. It's just an example of how. Because if I tell you they're harassing people, testing out, harassing people as a way of testing out or extending system of social control, you may think, that sounds crazy, totally crazy to me. Yeah, but if I show you what happened, for instance, some precedent, when this was actually happening in larger society, like in East Germany, then you may think, I can start to see the connection, why you're saying, I start to see, if that has been happening in East Germany in the late 80s, and I start to see, maybe it's possible that they use harassment as to enhance their way of social control. It did happen in, the thing is, I'm not saying that what was happening in East Germany at the time is happening now in this country. No. That was a system which was being rolled out in Hungary on a large number of people. What's happening in this country, you may argue, it's the same system, but it's just being experimented with, tested out on a very small number of people. So that's the difference. It's the same system, but in Germany, in the late 80s, it was being rolled out on a large number of people in Hungary. In this country at the moment, they like experimenting and testing with it. They're experimenting and testing.
Yeah, because I think they're cautiously experimenting and testing it because they're afraid of backlash. Because they're afraid of backlash, because they're afraid of this thing coming up. But I can tell you from my position of being a victim of this kind of activity for a very long time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't particularly want to go into that now, but not because of I try to draw the larger picture, which is quite important, but from the point of view of someone which has been at the receiving end of this kind of activity for quite a long time, I can see that they cautiously they are rolling out this kind of activities on high-profile political activists on a one-off basis. So cautiously, I can make you an example what I mean. You know the guy Mark Duggan, the guy was gunned down by the police. Yes. I was at a meeting one night. There was his aunt, Carol Duggan, and she was speaking. I thought it was some time ago at some university or something. And she was saying that on one occasion she was supposed to travel to Northern Ireland to speak about what happened to Mark and stuff, to a Sinn Féin meeting, right? She said that the night before traveling to Ireland, she went home and she found her flat burgled, so she had to cancel traveling to Ireland. So that's one example. Yeah. Or the night before the Ecuador was supposed to, that was a few years ago, Ecuador was supposed to say if they were prepared to grant political asylum to Julian Assange. So it was 2012. Just the night before, Julian Assange says that the police spent the night outside his room, running up and down the stairs of the fire, like making almost all night long. It's like we're making out that they were going to storm the embassy, right? And that may have been not so much to scare Julian, but to scare the Ecuadorian government. A message: if you're going to grant asylum, we're going to humiliate you publicly by storming the embassy, right? So, from my position, having been at the receiving end of this activity for a very long time, I can see that quite often, in a kind of one-off basis, they may target people with this stuff like Julian Assange, they may target Carol Duggan, they may target people, you know, I tell you, after all the spy caps saga with all these spy caps infiltrating all kind of different groups, as a result they get into relationship with women activists, they have a lot of stories to say about what happened to them, you start to see a pattern into why these people were operating, into why these people were disengaging at the end of their assignment. So you know, so I can see how these they deploy this stuff intensively on us, which is maybe no more than maybe up to 1,000 people in this country. And there is thousands of people in the US. There is 100,000 in France, in Germany. So it's intense on a very small number, relatively small number of people. But it's like they're experimenting with it. They're testing it. They see how it works, how can you make it better, how can...
people worldwide and come together, it is showing the far-right movement going on across Europe.
Yeah, I mean, there's increasing awareness, but also they fighting tooth and nail to suppress people. I mean, they're going after alternative media, so it's a very big stuff. I mean, they probably tried to engineer a big bombing of Syria recently with all the false flag and stuff. So I think they failed because basically Putin said no way. Even the people in the Pentagon, probably some people in the Pentagon say no way, we are going to do this stuff. But they tried to relaunch the regime change in Syria. So people are becoming increasingly aware of the stuff going on. But these people are really dangerous and psychopathic. you know, they will try anything to enslave people, to suppress people, to scare people, to cow people. So yeah, so there is a huge struggle at the moment, you know. It's like it's not a war, but it's a huge struggle. I mean, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in Afghanistan at the border of China and Russia. It's happening on the South China Sea. It's happening in Ukraine. It's happening in the Middle East. You know, you know. Yeah, I mean, so a big struggle. I mean, they want to create, Oh, no solution whatsoever. I'm actually fairly pessimistic but you know,
You need to be optimistic. I find that as you get older, people, they tend to become more pessimistic about the world and the views.
But pessimistic. I don't know. You know, there is this big struggle going on. I wouldn't bet on. You know, I don't know. I mean, you know,
I found a protest. We work today. People come out and protest. It's good for a day, but it just people forget about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, they may still try to start a major war. As a way of, but it's not, even that is not easy for them, because now a major war, they're going to double that. But I mean, but they may still try or play with the idea of starting a major war to reestablish their control. So we don't know. It's very resourceful and dangerous people. They control the media, they control the money, they control the politician, because you know, if you're a politician in the U.S., you even have to sign a contract with if you don't get the support of the IPAC in the U.S., you don't get elected. But I tell you, Cynthia McKinney, you know Cynthia McKinney? Yeah. She came out in public and said, I've been asked to ask this kind of contract, basically whereby I commit myself to never criticize the state of Israel, blah, 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 blah. They say, I'm not prepared to do it. She went public and she lost her seat in Congress. So, you go to show, you know, if you go against these people, but take control. I would say most senators and more people in the Congress of the United States, they control them. They can pressure them. They can threaten them with withdrawing the campaign money. So I think this country is the same. You know, most people in Parliament, you know, they have to kowtow to the Zionists. But so, you know. Yeah, I think at the center, well, probably, yeah. You can see different level, different, you know, like tiers. At the center, I think it's very much true that the center of it there is the Rothschild family. But then around them there is a lot of other Jewish banking family, a huge number of people. And then you have all things. Then you can enlarge this circle quite widely with all the people who think either they have a vested interest in supporting this system of power, or they maybe they think they have a vested interest. They have been lured into thinking that they have a vested interest. So they've been brainwashed into thinking that they have maintaining this kind of status quo. So in a way you have different circles. The inner circle, they understand, but at the end of the day, by necessity to maintain this level of control, they need to be able to co-opt and to quite a lot people in the media, or journalists. So it's quite ended up co-opting quite a large number of people at the end. But yeah. Did I get you, Leaflet?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, well. But have a look, but it's like, you know the stories they were saying which Stasi in East Germany, they have like 2/3 of the population, like spying on the other third of the population, which that was the folklore. But then when the archive of Stasi became public, they find out that there was a lot of truth in that. But at the moment in this country we have a system, and that the system they were using to maintain control in Germany. In this country, changing a bit, paraphrasing a bit the story, you may say there is 9/10 of the population knowingly harassing the 1/10 of the population, and that is the way to maintain control over this population. So, paraphrasing a bit what was happening in East Germany, that's what I think is happening in this country, and in many Western countries. In the United States, it's not hundreds, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of victims. And what we see, because we keep it.
If you go to just the street there,
yeah.
A lot of people consume consumerism. Like,
yeah, I mean, you get a lot of people with, and.
what liberal life I say, I guess.
Well, there is a fair degree of zombification with the general public. That's my opinion, anyway. But but then also you have all these political groups, the people. Which I support most of the things they're doing. I mean, I've been involved in many campaigns. I was supporting the London Close Guantanamo campaign. I'm a member of the Labour Party. I'm a member of Momentum. But I can list a lot of, on Monday I was at the Grenfell demonstration in Westminster. On Tuesday I was at the Gaza protest in Westminster. But I mean, last week. But at the same time, there is also this problem that if you go to these people, they're all good people doing wonderful things, but if you go to these people and try to explain what's happening with targeting, they just don't want to know. They just don't want to know. I remember...
So they want to live in ignorance.
Well, I mean, before Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the Labour Party, when he was a campaigning MP, you can find him around the protest demonstration. I gave him some of my literature 3 or 4 times. Strange enough, I never had a chance to have a private conversation, but because he was always talking to other people, so I didn't want to barge in or something. But I was taking the leaflet from this. It was strange enough, he kept taking the leaflet even after the first time. He could have said, like, oh, thank you very much, I got one already. He kept taking it. Then, after he became leader of the party, there were 3 or 4 of us outside the House of Parliament to make the carriage entrance. He was walking by. He was coming back into Parliament from I think he'd been on to support some protest in Old Palace Yard. He was coming back. He was talking to an elderly gentleman. I offered him a leaflet. I was assuming because he took it before. He completely he completely went. But then I wrote to him. At some point I wrote to him, I forward a petition, which is this petition to Jeremy Corbyn, leader of the opposition.
So you voted for Jeremy Corbyn, or disclose that information?
No, I vote for the Labour Party in local election. As I am an Italian national still, I cannot vote in general election, but I've been living in this country for 30 years. I never tried to get a British passport, so I still have an Italian passport, so I can vote on local elections. I could vote on, which I did recently for the Labour Party locally. I can vote in, I can still vote in European election before we get out of the EU, but I cannot vote in general election. But I can be a member of the Labour Party, but I cannot vote in general election. Yes, I wrote to him, actually. I forwarded this petition, which has been signed by 600 people, mostly victims of covert harassment in this country, although quite a number of people, I must say, from other countries. And I was totally rational in what I said in my email. I never got any reply. Likewise with my MP, which is Diane Abbott, which actually is, is ideally
what is your view on her job, the job she's done for you?
No, well, I mean, she's been very helpful. Every time I had a problem with small matters, small logistical matters, she's been very helpful. I was always receiving a reply very quickly. And it seemed actually that contacting her was making a practical difference in speeding up things, or if you have different problem or legal or administrative or benefits or whatever. When at some point I wrote to her about targeting in general, I sent an email which was totally rational. You know, I never got any reply. But, you know, I think Diana Abbott and Jeremy Corbyn are very good people, but they are on a very short leash. You know, for instance, Diana Abbott wanted to go and visit Yarwood Detention Center. She had to apply to ask the Home Office for 12 months. She's supposed to be, even at the time when she started applying, she was supposed to be the Shadow Home Secretary. She was denied for 12 months. She kept applying to visit Yarwood Detention Center. The Home Office refused to allow her to visit. That's it went on for more than 12 months. Finally, in the last couple of months, she was allowed to a short visit to Yarwood. So I mean, these people, you think like Jeremy Corbyn, Diana Abbott, they are on a very short leash. Jeremy Corbyn, when there was this nonsense about Salisbury, this pantomime in Salisbury, yes. Jeremy Corbyn, question time, asked a few sensible questions. He said, why don't we wait for the police investigation to end before we apportion blame and blah blah blah? Why don't we? Then immediately after that, you get Vince Cable, which is now the leader of Vince Cable, which is now the leader of the Lib Dem. With a very smug expression on his face, say, oh, we Lib Dem, we support the statement of Theresa May. Then the acting leader of the SNP in the House of Parliament, again, we're all smug in the face, like, oh, we support Theresa May's statement. Again, all the other Labour MP, Tory MP, they start savaging Jeremy Corbyn for not supporting Theresa May, for not being patriotic, for being Putin, used for idiot or stuff. By the evening of the same day, Jeremy, all the Daily Mail and stuff, at the Evening Standard and stuff, yeah, you can imagine what they were publishing. By the end of the day, the office of Jeremy Corbyn had to publish a statement backtracking of what he said at lunchtime in Parliament, and stating that he actually was completely behind Theresa May. So that's they're on a very short leash. They're on a very short leash, you know. There's very little they can do, they can say without being savaged by the media and by their own MP, Jeremy Corbyn, Labour MPs, ready with an eye to put an eye in the back. So, yeah.
I think it's important for people to promote their own council members, because the council is the one that they go to, the first point of call. You can't go straight to the Prime Minister, you have to go to...
Yeah, you know, the council, I wouldn't put a lot of trust in councillors and stuff.
Oh, you've had bad experiences with council?
Well, I mean, even without going into my personal experience, I mean, there is a lot of, there is a lot of Labour councils which are pretty bad. I mean, they completely support all this program of gentrification, demolishing a number of estates.
Did you have any friends or
No, I didn't. But so I know. Now actually, they actually
I mean, people in Momentum, people of the Team Carbon, they're totally aware that there is a number of Labour Council which is they are as bad as Tory Council. In fact, they have been trying to replace the leader of the Labour leader of Baringay Council. They replaced it because the person they won what they call scumbag anyway. So they replaced it. And they replaced, I think they replaced 2 or 3 of these leaders, the activists, the Momentum, managed to replace the leader of 2 or 3 Labour Council, which are totally, you know, pieces of work and stuff. And then immediately they make, you know, they it's Momentum, all the Stalinists, they try to take over and stuff. But they replaced them because their policies were absolutely outrageous. But now the Daily Mail say, oh, they're replacing all the Labour Council and leaders with the Stalinists and communists and stuff, which is not true. So to be fair to Tim Corbyn, they're aware of the problem. They know that there is a number of Labour councils that are worse of Tory councils. And they have been trying with the activists and with Momentum to replace a number of them. So they know what is going on. They know that they need to replace some of these people, ideally to deselect a lot of these Labour MP which keep bitching about Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, there was a scandal a few years ago.
What kind of scandal?
The tax scandal,
politicians. Yeah, there were a number of scandals, but, you know, so they are aware of if they want to be effective, you know, they need to, if they want to be, they know that, if they want to be effective, they need to deselect, replace a number of these Labour MP in Parliament, and they need to get rid of a lot of Labour councillors which are worse than Tory councillors. So, they are working on it, but they already replaced the leader of 2 or 3 Labour councils. But you know, the time will tell. Time will tell what's going to happen.
So, how long have you been coming to speak? It's funny you said it in the story. Although this place has been under attack in the past couple of weeks, where police have come and said, "Oh, you can't pray here," or "You can't do certain things." So,
I didn't know that.
You didn't. You wasn't aware of it.
No, I've been here for maybe a couple of months, I think, but 6 weeks, I think. So I don't know. No, I'm not coming every week. I would like to come a bit more often, possibly, but you know, maybe every 6 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I've been coming here for overall maybe, you know, quite a long time. Starting maybe, let me think, maybe 2009, 2010, and then sometime I was coming every week, then maybe I'd, you know, come for a couple of months, then maybe I'm coming after every 6 weeks or something, so, yeah, but, you know, they completely destroy my life and stuff, and they're still going strong in completely destroying my life. So, I mean, it's the only thing I can do. I mean, you know, last week, the first 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was in Westminster, around Westminster, either supporting other campaign or but usually doing both, supporting other campaign and doing my own activism. Then on Friday, this Friday was in front of the BBC for a couple of hours. And
if you don't mind me asking, what was you discussing on BBC?
I was doing what I'm doing now. I had my placard, I had my slogans, and then when people go by, I just try to get their attention. I mean, people can have a look at it, they read the placard. If you people take the leaflet, but not that many. If you people stop to talk to me, but not that many. So, you know, but it's a simple fact of being there. You know, now they know that there is something going on.
Did it make you feel uncomfortable?
No, I mean, I've been doing this thing for in the beginning, when I started about 2008, 2009, yeah. But I have been doing...
Another question, sorry to ask you so many things, but why did you start that particular time? What point in your life did you think, okay, I need to...
Well, I mean, you know, I've been in...
Did you call yourself an activist?
I was into activism. Well, I was into activism from early age, and at university I was very political, and which I think is also what may have been, you know, triggering like some of the harassment. But then I came to London. For 20 years I did do very much activism, which is something which I regret actually. Then about 2008, 2009, a lot of people in our community by then they started having protests. They were in San Francisco, in Germany, and it does inspire me to, you know, so think, oh well, you know, because maybe until then I thought, oh, you protest about other things, you don't protest about this thing. But then seeing the example of a number of people of our community in different countries having protests, street protests and stuff, so, oh well, maybe you can protest about this stuff. So then, you know, the rest is history. I never look back. Yeah.
So what steps are you taking to maybe change? What would you like to change?
Yeah, I mean,
in the ideal world, like, what would be your world view?
To be left alone, but it's, you know, to be left alone in a world, but it's not going to happen in my lifetime. It's not going to happen in my lifetime.
Would you call yourself a socialist, or just as Jeremy Corbyn that's you?
Yeah, well, I could call myself a socialist. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, so you know, no, it doesn't look good. I mean, because we are the stuff being done to us is being done by the deep state, and the deep state at the moment is completely out of control. They look like, you know, they organize false flags. They can't even bother to be plausible because they're not going to get away with it anyway. So it's completely out of control. They organize these totally implausible false flags. They don't even pay too much attention to details. They just, you know, they just ramming this stuff down people's throats, assuming that people are going to go play along with it. So I think, you know, if we have a deep state out of control, they do anything they want to anyone. They can mess around with Jeremy Corbyn, they even can mess around with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a bit of an unknown quantity, I think, because, you know, they say, you know, Donald Trump is, I think, is a big scumbag, because Donald Trump, if you look at Donald Trump is, he's been in bed with the Zionists for a very long time, and, you know, he was flying to Jeffrey Epstein, Lolita Island, so they probably, in many ways, I think it's probably bankrupt. If the Zionists pull the plug, it's going to be bankrupt tomorrow. So even probably, not even wanted to go into all the nice little video clip they have of him at Lolita Island. But if they pull the plug, all is getting bankrupt tomorrow. So Ivanka Trump was at some point was dating Nat Rothschild in London, but the son of Jacob Rothschild. But then they probably.
I heard about that.
Oh, it's a fact. It's a fact. You have newspaper pictures of them together from the past. But then probably she was not good enough. She was not high enough in the food chain for him. So she ended up marrying some other, you know, Jared Kushner, which is another one of this little army of Rothschild proxy Zionist billionaire. Yeah, so I mean, they're totally. So I think, you know, in a way, I think it's like.
It was them who funded his presidency.
Yeah, I mean, all through the years, they probably they are the one which kept him kept him afloat. You know, it's he's in bed with the Saudis. He's in bed with the mob in New Jersey, in the East Coast. So I mean, you know, it's probably about drain the swamp. I mean, you know, I mean, he's a creature of the swamp. It can't drain the swamp, but you know, it's I think there is a fake narrative. I mean, you know, Barack Obama was, was appointed by them. Donald Trump was appointed by them. I think they created this like smoke screen narrative, like a few years ago it was the deep state against Barack Obama, Obamacare, all the tussle about Obamacare. Now there is this smoke screen false narrative about deep state against Trump versus Trump and Russiagate. These are all bullshit. I mean, they don't really want to know. It's a smoke screen. They can go with Russiagate because they know no one believes it anyway.
But the thing is, like you said, when you bring up this information to certain people, they say you're crazy. What we just delivered this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's, most people are like they say zombicide. I mean, then you have all the political people, and but they don't want to touch this stuff. But you know, Jeremy Corbyn. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn. You know, it's probably crossing his fingers because you know, John Smith. You remember John Smith? Right. John Smith. You know, if it looked very much like there was a genuine socialist becoming leader of, becoming prime minister, and then he got a heart attack walking the hills. So I mean. Robin Cook, he was spilling the bean about Iraq, and then he ended up dying in walking the hill of heart attack as well. And I don't think in both cases.
Another person needs to research Robin Cook. I need to re-research Robin Cook and his story.
Yeah, I think you know this. You know, I think they killed John Smith. They parachuted, you know, they pushed forward Blair and Brown, Gordon Brown.
When it comes to assassinations, you can go through a whole linear of.
Well, I don't think they go around willy-nilly killing people, but when someone becomes a threat, they kill them. So I mean, you know, I would be surprised if Mitchell.
Yes, I do.
Remember Michael Mitchell?
I do.
Michael Mitchell, which was a close ally of Jeremy Corbyn. He was one of the people who actually encouraged Jeremy Corbyn to stand into leadership. A very good friend. Michael Mitchell was the MP which since 9/11 is being campaigning ferociously to debunk the official version of the story of 9/11. So what happened basically, he came to the Bilderberg Festival in 2012. I was there with Alex Jones, David Icke, Michael Mitchell came to speak together with people like David Icke and Alex Jones. And
Did you have a conversation with those people you just mentioned? David Icke.
I shook. Well, it was not. I shook Alex Jones' hand. I gave him I gave him some of my literature. I guess at the time Alex and David Icke were walking together in the crowd. I gave them meant to give some literature each. I didn't manage to have a conversation. There were people everywhere around mobbing them, and you know, it was not easy. But I was going to say. So after Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the Labour Party for the first time, Michael Mitchell, you get this now you got this connection that you have Jeremy Corbyn, leader of the Labour Party, getting increasing power in the party. We don't. Okay, there was also internal opposition and stuff, but you can say in his new position, he was getting increasing power, even in spite of the internal opposition and everything, in the party and in the country. Then you get Michael Mitchell, one of his closest political allies and friends, which is the guy who for 10 years he'd been campaigning to the bank the official version of 9/11. He thought it was a very dangerous connection there. So, 6 weeks after Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the Labour Party, Michael Mitchell died of a sudden illness. As far as I know, even people in Terry investigating 9/11 movement, which knew him, they don't know what he died for to this day. I may be wrong. As far as I know, the only thing we have been told, Michael Mitchell died of a sudden illness.
Yes.
There
was no explanation. They just
maybe some other information has been coming out recently, but as far as I know, that's all we know, a sudden illness. 6 weeks after, at the time Michael died, he was still working with this guy I know, a guy called Mark Campbell, which his brother died in 9/11. He's a British guy, Mark Campbell. His brother died in 9/11. He's been campaigning in this country ever since to debunk the official version of 9/11. So at the time Michael Mitchell died, he was still working with his other guy, Mark Campbell, the brother of one of the deceased, still active in trying to debunk the. So now we have this connection between Jeremy Corbyn and Michael Mitchell. It couldn't be allowed to stand. Michael Mitchell, after 6 weeks since Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the party, Michael Mitchell died. But there you go. I'm not saying that they go around, I'm not saying that they go around like killing people willy-nilly. Only if you, on a relatively rare occasion, when you really pose a substantial threat to the system, real threat to the status quo. In recent years, I can only think of a few people. I can only think like John Smith, Robin Cook, Dr. David Kelly, Diana, Michael Mitchell. That's it. Sorry for a second, but thank you for listening. And have a look. And there is, if you really want to look deeper into it, there is a lot of keyword and stuff you can look up on Google and stuff. So it's plenty of information to be checked out. And
I'll be researching.
Okay, thank you very much. Couple of months, but yeah, I mean,
You don't come here much anymore.
Sorry?
I haven't seen you here for a while now.
Yeah, I think, I don't know really, a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks.
You went away? Okay.
I didn't go away. Yeah, to be honest with you, I like, I focus more on other things like, I mean, last week I was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I was in Westminster. On Monday there was a Grenfell march. On Tuesday there was a thing for Gaza. Also took commemorated the anniversary of the Nakba, Palestinian Nakba. So Wednesday I was there for question time. So Friday I was in front of the BBC for a couple of hours, so I try to do the things which are more of an impact, because basically they kind of they murdered me at the time. I mean, I think I'm probably going to be there soon.
What do you think about this Palestinian issue? How do you think it should be solved?
Oh, I don't know.
You've been demonstrating from what is your ideal
solution?
Yeah.
Well,
you have to be given an option to say, look.
Reality. Well, reality, ideal solution are two very different things. But I mean, the time we are living, I mean. Between ideal solution, I think I'm very pessimistic. I mean, do we have a deep state which is It's losing ground, but they're probably more deadly than ever. But the moment they start losing ground, they become even more deadly. So it's like the death throw of the deep state. The deep state may be dying, but it's going to, before it completely dies, it's going to do a lot of terrifying damage to everything. They may decide, because we no longer can control, they may decide to start a major war. I'm not particularly optimistic.
So you have no an inkling thought on how best to resolve the Palestinian issue?
Well, I think the two-state solution is, to be honest, the two-state solution is not a solution at all. I mean, it has also for a number of practical reasons, because, I don't think the Israelis are prepared to give any ground anyway. They don't want to give any ground. So, I think the one solution could be, an ideal solution, could be to create one state, one person, one vote. But the Jews will never agree to that. Also because there is demographic bomb. They know if they have a one state with one person, one vote, the Palestinians will already be majority or will become majority. There goes the Jewish state. So they will never agree to that. That would be a civilized solution, to have just one state, and for everyone to agree to live together. And there is no, at the end of the day, there is no, it could work, apart from the Jewish ideology, that it can work.
Yeah, but what is the Palestinian ideology? What is the Arabic ideology in terms of coexisting with Israel?
Well,
what do you think in depth you are really feeling about coexisting with the Jewish people?
An ideal solution would be one state, from my point of view. But I can see it happening. Because there is so much hatred, there is so much ingrained. For you to have one state, you got to find out what is the tolerance of the Gazarians or the Palestinians towards the Jewish people. Are they tolerable? Can they tolerate them? But if they cannot tolerate them, so one state solution will just become an annihilation of one group of people. Well, if you look at that, okay.
So this is where
something,
maybe the only way.
That's something you could have said of South Africa. But then you see, if they found some kind of arrangement, they found a way. Even in South Africa, there's been a lot of blood and a lot of spills and a lot of violence, past violence, oppression. They found somewhat a way to engineer transition. But, then is a faulty trace, is a flaw.
In South Africa, the black people do not hate the white people to death. That's the difference. The black people do not hate the white people to death, in spite of all what has happened to them. They were very accommodating. Whereas in that region, one group hates the other group to death. So that even if you allow, like in South Africa, the other group will then see it as an opportunity to kind of do what their true nature comes. I think that is the problem. As you said, the Jewish people are afraid of a one-state solution, or because they believe because the total Arab ethos, the whole total Arab ethos is that no person can live in that region except they are Muslims. That land, because you've listened to the rhetoric of the man from the old president from Iran, not Iran, Abadina, whatever it is, who always end his statements the total destruction of Israel. And considering that Iran is so many 100 miles away, so instead of minding their own business, All they are dreaming is the total destruction of a nation far away from them that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah, actually, I think, Ahmadinejad, I think it was,
so that's the problem.
I think that one was deliberately twisted around by the Zionist media, because what Ahmadinejad said, in a way, is what I just said just now. He was saying there is no room in the Middle East for a Jewish apartheid state. So he was not calling for Jewish people to be killed, to be thrown out. He was saying, in a way, he was saying there can only be one state for everybody, not a Jewish state, a one state for Palestinians. So the Zionist media immediately jumped on that and tried to make out that he wanted to kill all the Jews, or that he wanted to throw out all the Jews, which he was not the case.
Remember, right? When you say something out of your mouth, and it's recorded, right? Filmed, it is difficult to edit it, right? A lot of the things he says, even United Nations, he always end up his statement to total abolition of Israel. This one is tweeted by anybody, because that is live television announcement. He declares it several times. So it's not as if it was one statement and you can say, well, that was said 40 years ago and yet the Jewish media keep bringing it up. No, this was said repeatedly in United Nations, where people of different tribe and tongue are listening. So we've got to understand
it was not calling.
Stop now, because since he's out of office, he's no more the president, then things kind of mellow down a bit.
No, but I think the original statement, he was not calling for the killing of Jews. He was not calling for Jews to be thrown out of Palestine. He was calling for an end to an apartheid Zionist state.
This is what you are translating it. What he says is absolute. There is no room for the Jewish people, and even during the time of Yasser Arafat, he even said they should be driven into the sea.
He didn't say that.
You know, these things were said. These things were said. You see, let us, and they said they should go back to where they come from.
But you need to understand that,
I've got sympathy for the Palestinians. I rather prefer forget about this militarization, right? And they try to come together to live with it. Because remember, before the first and second war over there, the Palestinians were living across the whole area before the war. And they were going there to go and work, and there was no problem. It was when the when the PLO started their warfare, and then it was then the Jewish people then became, and stopped them working in Israel. Before that, I remember if you go back in the 1950s, 1960s, they were going there working, and they were living harmony until the Arabs told them you cannot live with the Jewish people, that the Jewish people are Zionists and they are monkeys, and you're going to kill them. Don't cooperate with them. They are not Muslim, and this is where everything started.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
They were manipulated.
You say
they were manipulated. If the Arabs, you see what they do, they are using the Palestine to quell their own trouble. All the Arab people there, rather than, because they feel if Palestine settles up with Israel, they will not develop.
Listen.
After they get to Gaza,
they
hand over Gaza to them.
You say Yasser Arafat, you say the PLO. But at the time Yasser Arafat became leader of the PLO, there was already several millions of Palestinians displaced in Jordan, in Lebanon, all over the place, living in camps. So you say,
that was after the first war. You got the 6-day war. You get that. So each of the war, they captured one. So when they captured inland, then the Palestinians they were displaced. If those wars did not occur, the Palestinians would have been living with Israel as peaceful as now.
Well, no. In 1948, when they first created the State of Israel, they displaced in a matter of days up to 1 million Palestinians.
Who displaced them? They were nobody. The British, it must be the British that because they had to fight for their independence and fought against the British.
The Israeli displaced up to 1 million Palestinians through a campaign of terror.
Before the capture of Jerusalem, or before the
1948, when the state of Israel was created. They displaced 1 million Palestinians through a campaign of terror. They destroy a couple of villages, kill everybody, and then all the people start to flee. That was what they did is because they wanted to scare.
Because the population wasn't that big at that time.
Look
maybe
at that.
300, another million, even a million people.
1 million.
It can't
well,
be. Not then.
Up to 1 million.
Now it can't be. Even with all the problems in Syria, how many have they displayed? It's not. I think we're displayed, but not a million. Not in that time.
Iraq.
The population war was nothing.
Iraq war, they say, displaced 4 million.
Yes.
It's a Syrian war, maybe $2 million.
Because that's modern war. Because at that time there was really nothing. People were very few in the world. The people in the Arab world was very few, and so the Philippines had 1 million now. I know there was this. Anyway, the truth is, I'd rather the Palestinians come up from these Arab people, using them as a tool, and sit down and talk to their neighbor Israel. Because look, do you know there are Palestinians in the Knesset? You name it what Arab country where you have Christians or any other people that is not a Muslim member of their parliament? Very rare.
In Syria.
Very rare.
In Syria.
Yeah, but look at Syria today. It's been demolished. Iraq, they had it in Iraq, that's been demolished. So you see everything. Now they've taken it against them. So
in Iran, Jewish people are probably treating better than in Europe, Jewish people in Iran.
They were, but I don't know if they are still there. There were some Jewish people, but they're not in parliament. They're not in Knesset, they're not in their parliament. But there are a few Jewish people there.
I would not exclude it entirely. Jewish people, they may be in the Iranian parliament.
They will, but they don't claim to be Jew. Or maybe I'm talking about Palestinians claiming to be Muslims and everything and still in Knesset. A Jew that is in the Iran parliament will not be declaring himself as a Jew. He will probably, come and dull down his religion. Otherwise, they pick on
I think there is a lot of, when it comes to Iran and Syria and what's happening with Israel, I think there is a huge amount of lies and misinformation. People need to be careful they're not buying into the lies of the misinformation, because I think because all the Western media are controlled by the Zionists. So
let me ask you one question. Recently we got the thing in Gaza. If you are a leader and you have a soul and you have your children in your heart, would you send your children to go to a border and try to break into another border where you have been warned, please don't come, you will be shot? Would you do that?
They have no business shooting people because there was a fence. There was no chance that these people could get through the fence. So it's it was completely done. I think the way one of the reasons it have been done is because it's what they were saying. The whole thing was organized with the idea of the right to return. The idea of right to return to the Israeli is like when you go to a thief and you say, I want my property back, and then you get violence. That's the thing. What the Israeli gets them rattled, it's his idea of the right to return, because even if you don't believe me, there was 1 million people in 1948, they got displaced, they lost their houses, they lost their fields, they lost their agricultural businesses, they never get a single penny in compensation. It's nowadays these people were asking, can we at least go back to have a look at what became of our houses, or they are not allowed into Israel. They were talking about, all the whole thing was organized with the idea right to return. And if you're to an Israeli, you say right to return,
It's like when you go to a thief, you say, I want my property back. It's probably going to start punching you. It's the same thing. So, yeah.
So, but you see, the thing is, you know, one has to use your wisdom. There's been a lot of freedom fighters, right? And then they achieve the objective using wisdom, right? I think my advice is that my opinion, for them to achieve the objective, one, they should dissociate themselves from the Arab, using them as a tool, right? As an instrument so that they can remain in power, and then rationally come to table and discuss with Israel and avoid the violence. Because remember, before Israel gave it to Gaza, remember Israel was occupying Gaza, and Gaza was very prosperous. All those hotels was built by the seaside, and they handed it over to them, and Israel trained the Gaza policemen. Right? He trained them so that they'll be able to look after their people and maintain law and order.
Oh, they train.
You know that? Have you forgotten?
So
your enemy trained you to look after your people. And yet, what has happened? Instead of them using that, they were listening to the Arabs say, no, turn against Israel, turn against Israel. So the goodness that was supposed, Gaza would have been a very prosperous place today. But because they turned it the other way around, now Gaza is now gone down, no work, nothing, it become a miserable place to live. Why? Why can't leaders use their mind? Is it warfare? Why people want to use war in every time, especially when you're fighting somebody that is stronger than you? Use wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of things people don't know. I mean, when there was a split between, when there was a split between Hamas and Fatah, there was actually, Israel was actually giving money to Hamas, was financing Hamas. When at the time, we don't know if they were, if they knew what was going to happen, if they just wanted to create problems for Fatah by giving money to Hamas. That was way back. When Hamas first started in Gaza, Israel was financing Hamas. We don't know what the intention was. Maybe they just wanted to create problems for Fatah. Maybe they wanted to create a split. I don't know if they realized how Hamas was powerful, how powerful they were going to become but interesting, so you don't know what the Israeli gets up to. When every time there is some negotiation or some peace talk, they just take it to peace, the Israeli. They don't want it. They don't want any peace. They just live in along the garden path.
You know why? Because the covenant. Covenant means something you will do in blood. The covenant of PLO or Hamas or Fatah a while ago was the total destruction of Israel. And that covenant has not changed. Even though outwardly some of them have said, no, we can live with Israel. But as you know, the Islamic culture and Islamic belief, there's something that is called, according to the name of your council member, which is basically.
Carry on.
Basically, you can promise something when you are weak, or when you are strong, you break the oath. And because Israel has grown with the Arab, you understand the language, you understand Islam. Then God Muhammad, that was the first thing Muhammad did when he signed a covenant with them. Hamadiyya, I think the covenant of Hamadiyya or something like that.
Ahmadinejad.
No, not Ahmadinejad is the name, but the covenant, that covenant.
Abbas.
I remember it. So that covenant means, right, when you're weak, you agree with your opponent, right? But the moment you're strong, you break the covenant. And that is how Muhammad was able to capture. That's how Muhammad was able to capture Mecca. Because when he came to Mecca the very first time, they broke him out. He was weak. Then they have 7 years truce. But within 2 years, once he was able to master army in Medina, he came back. And surprisingly, the American was not expecting him, and when they saw his great army, they gave in.
Things that don't necessarily.
And Israel understand. Even me as a Christian, I don't trust any treaty with an Arab.
Things that doesn't necessarily work like that in practice. Because by the same token, you may say, when the ANC gained power in South Africa, they should have been killing all the white people.
Yeah, but they didn't have that covenant
Why
to kill
they didn't kill all the white people?
But they did not have the covenant to kill every white person. If they had had that covenant, the blood covenant, they would have done it. Because they would have reminded Nelson Mandela, remember we swore an oath that every white man must be killed. And because the blood covenant, they will keep you, otherwise they will kill him. So when you have a blood covenant, it's so difficult to break it, and this is the thing. And Islam had it towards especially the PLO, and the PLO before the Hamas and Fatah. They didn't have that covenant, and Israel remember that.
But my opinion is
that is what Israel is afraid of. Except if people like the Iranian leaders and Fatah and the people in Gaza will come openly and declare and tell the whole world that covenant is been broken by Allah. Because only when they say Allah has broken that covenant, but if Allah did not, because it's like fatwa. You know when they declare fatwa against you, it doesn't matter. 100 years time, if they find you, they will still kill you. Except if they abolish that fatwa by Allah. You know, so we have to be very careful, because Jewish people have suffered a great deal in the world. They've suffered most, right? Even though the black people suffered because of slavery, but the Jewish people suffered the most when it comes to incineration. With human beings, children, were deliberately sent into the gas chamber and they died, and then if your parents, you being Italian, you've gone through that. I don't think any Italian will want Germans to repeat what they did to them anytime in the future. Italian will make sure Germans never be able to do that.
I don't know. I think the worst enemy of the Jewish people are the Zionists. I think.
You know what Zionists? Zionists means the group that established political establishment of State of Israel. Just like in England, we got people that want to make sure we maintain the establishment of England as a nation. Right? And every country, Italy, the same thing, Germany, the France, everybody wants to establish that. Zionists, they are the people that determine to establish the state of Israel so that what happened before will not happen again. And what is wrong with that? Look, I'm a black man. I come from Africa. But if you try to condemn England, I will take offense. Why? I'm a British national and I'm giving my life to England. I cannot accept anyone running England down continuously. Occasionally, because you feel like you're upset, but if it becomes a deliberate thing, I'll tell you, no, you don't do that. If you don't like it, then go to the country where you feel comfortable. And it's the same thing, the country where I come from originally, if you start doing the same, I will tell you, no, you can't do it. Because every country, people have right to protect their nation. This is what I want. You know what we are doing here? You can't do it in any Arab country because they are so protective of their beliefs. You can't go to Arab country and have people debating about Christianity and Islam. Of course not. You can't go and criticize the leaders. Of course not. They hang you. Politics, you got to do what the people want. It's only in the Western world we have the freedom to talk and criticize our leaders. You go and criticize the leader of Saudi Arabia, you end up in the gallows. You go and criticize the leader of Iraq, you end up in the gallows. Criticize Syrian leader, you end up in the gallows. Criticize criticize the leader of Egypt, you end up in the gallows. Any of these Muslim Islamic leaders all over the world, see what happens to you.
Yeah, well, you may have
that is how quick and that is how determined and Israel understands these people. We don't understand them because we got this Christian body. But if you live among the wolves, you better make sure you dress like a wolf. Otherwise you'll be eaten up. So, but to me, I want Palestinians to abandon water and come and lead it. But they can go as you just black Africans, in South Africa, they were able to get it's part of all that thing that went on. They come and achieve. They can do it. If Israel enforce that the Palestinians have no intention to annihilate, especially the Arabs, have no intention to annihilate, they don't mind if Palestinians could become the president in Israel. They wouldn't mind that. Because they know that there's no problem. But as long as they have this motive that they have to destroy, that Israel has no right to exist, it's like telling the Italians, you have no right to exist. German come and say, Italian people, you are rubbish, you have no right. I mean, Italy will rise up. You say, no way. I'd rather die than accept this condition. That's what's happening down there. To me, I want them to live together, but they should forget about this war. Because the more the Palestinians going to war, or desire, Israel will keep increasing this warfare, and the rest of the Western world, because the white people always support themselves because they are brothers. Italian government will support Israel. When Israel is about to be annihilated, they will support Israel. French will support Israel. Portuguese will support Israel. German will support Israel. The white, the whole will support Israel because Israel is their brethren. Because the religion of the Western world came from the Jewish nation. And they cannot abandon their brother. So they will support them, all right? I mean, they are selling all these weapons to Arabs. They can neutralize the weapon if they want to. I say all these weapons, the Americans are selling to the Arabs, selling to all these people. If the crunch comes to the crunch, they can neutralize these weapons. Because they build it, they know there is conflict in future. They probably have those weapons, but that will make those weapons ineffective when they use against Israel. Especially if Israel is facing annihilation. And you know, Israel has nuclear weapons, but no one talks about it. You know that? You know you don't. Israel has a nuclear weapon.
I know.
But no. Is the West talking about it?
So why
they talk about other people's weapons? They never talk about Israel.
So why are they not talking about
their
Israel?
brothers? Blood brothers. They don't. That's why. Because they know if there's a conflict and Israel is destroyed, the next is across the ocean and Mediterranean back again Europe. Will be the next in line. It will be like what happened during the Islamic conflict when they went as far as to France to conquer, and they ruled them as Spain for 700 years. The West doesn't forget, but we keep history. Muslims destroy history, but the West don't destroy history. They keep everything. That is why no one challenges Israel nuclear weapons. And Israel have said, rather than dying, like what happened in the Holocaust, they will take the whole of the Arab world with them. So we pray we don't have conflict.
Alright then.
So that's the thing you do. So,
anyway, I better carry on.
Take care.